And we are back.
Yes.
To another episode of the Fake Prawns Podcast.
What a time to be alive.
Oh, nothing better than being in a world where we're just continuing to bomb innocent people. Not to make it immediately about that, but...
You had to go there.
I mean, you said a beautiful time to be alive.
Yeah, I'm having a great time.
Okay, you know what? Fuck it. We won't talk about it. That's fine. What do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about...
So you're about to read an ad?
I just read War in Iran. You have one bullet point, War in Iran.
It's just an overall encapsulating thing. I mean, we can talk about the war in Iran.
Did we talk about the culture of Russians slurping food?
We did last time.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. We talked about how, like, that's a thing across East Asian countries and how I dated a girl who used to do it, and I thought it was the most disgusting thing ever. So, yeah, we covered that. How about we start with the Japan thing that we were talking about before?
All right.
Just to get this thing cooking a little bit. And
Start in a different country. It's the Foreign Policy Podcast.
Yeah. I mean, we can become sovereign citizens and just,
Yeah.
which is totally legit.
You and me, bro, together?
Does that make us sovereign if we are both in the same place? If we're both sovereign?
Can we just form our own country?
But then we wouldn't be sovereign, right? We'd be
a sovereign bromance.
A country, though.
Yeah.
The first time ever.
Hell
We'll get
yeah.
it approved in the Supreme Court. So Japan. Federal court case. And I apologize, fans, if we've talked about this before, but I thought it was an interesting statistic.
The astronauts just landed. Sorry, that's breaking news. You heard it here first.
Oh, what was the Artemis?
Yeah.
Mission. Which,
anyway.
Actually, that's worth talking about because I'm going to be totally honest. Is this just we're going back to the moon?
We're going back, baby.
Why? What's up there?
Because it's cool.
Is that has to be it, right? Like, what else?
No, that's it. We sent Katy Perry to space because it was cool.
Well,
and we're like, let's go to the moon.
I love the just grilling that whole group of people got.
Who, the people who sent her?
No, all the people who went in that fucking ship, and they're just like, because a lot of them, they're like, oh, the world's so beautiful, and when we went up there, it just means we all got to be together, and like, a lot of them, like Katy Perry, I think, was the biggest like PETA advocate in the world, and saying like, oh, we're destroying the environment, and, like, just that trip alone was worth like 1,000 private jets worth of flight and fuel, and it's
literally
just,
lifetimes of driving.
Yes,
that trip.
It was one of the most tone deaf things in the world. Where like people are gonna love when we send all these super rich people up in space, and they're gonna relate to this. And it's like everyone's like, dude, what the fuck? People can't buy food. And there's Katy Perry's in space being like, wow, everything is beautiful. And we just got to love one another.
Also, they floated for like half a second.
Yeah. Which, don't get me wrong, looks cool. But it's just like, people, I love that the internet had the proper response to be like, fuck you.
Everyone hated it.
Yeah. Everyone was like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
So, but the moon thing, back to this, it's cool. I think it's lost a lot of its coolness. Like, we did
The moon's out of style.
Going to it. The moon's still cool itself.
We went around it this time. We never did that before.
But we went around and landed on it?
We went all the way around to the dark side. We saw the dark side.
Because isn't this a redo of a failed mission from, what was the one? Because there's a movie about Apollo 13. Where
the one that blew up?
No, that's the Challenger.
You're right.
The one where they went and they missed the opportunity to land on the moon, and they had to slingshot around the moon to get back. I think that was the Apollo.
Oh.
There's a movie about it.
Okay.
So I think this is our attempt to... Well, back to the... how do you feel about the moon landing?
You really want to get into it?
I don't know enough to even have a good take on it. All I know is what we were told in school, that we did it, and I've seen the videos. But then I've seen a few things that have, like, broken down the video and been like, there's, like, strings attached to the astronaut. And I'm like, there's enough off things with the video where I remember, again, I'm not pretending to be a, like, historian on the video. I remember seeing some stuff that people were like, look at this. I'm like, that does look not very real. But space is weird. We've never videotaped in space like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's just space.
It also, like, really shitty recording equipment as well.
Yeah.
So you sound skeptical.
It's one of those things I just haven't looked into, so I don't want to... there's been enough stuff that's happened in the past decade that people are like, yeah, everything you knew about this, entirely wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, by the way, all of our elite officials are raping children, which was the biggest conspiracy for a long time. Like the Pizzagate stuff and all the stuff that was suggesting that, like, people at the top are, like, have child sex trafficking rings. That was a giant conspiracy. And then now it's like, oh, no, that's just real. That's just actually true. So this is, again, I hate to be the guy that's like, well, maybe the moon and maybe the vaccines. But it's like, we just keep getting proven the other way. And now the Jew stuff. It's like, that a long time ago was the white supremacist giant conspiracy of like, the Jews own everything. The Jews are the and it's like, well, fuck. What's happening now? Not to say, I'm not saying all Jews. I'm just saying Israel has played a large role in doing some, roping America into doing terrible things. And that, a decade ago, was like, oh, you big anti-Semite. It's like, no, now we have it like, it's all in front of us, happening. And at the same time, no one's doing anything.
Yeah.
We're just letting it happen. Sorry.
If I were in a rolling chair, I would be rolling off the screen right now and letting you just continue on this.
Why? Because the Jew stuff?
Yeah, I don't want to get into Jew stuff.
You don't want to?
I'm not trying to get into the Jew stuff. I also think we went to the moon. I'm fairly certain.
I probably.
But back to, well, is there more you want to say about Artemis?
I guess, so are we going there to do some scientific stuff?
We're already back.
Oh.
They landed in the Pacific Ocean just now.
So they stopped on the moon or they just went around it?
I don't know if they even touched the moon.
Oh, I thought they were
I think they just went around it.
What are we doing?
I don't know.
Why do we want that?
I don't know.
That's taxpayer money.
Yeah.
Oh, man. See, I don't need, like, what is, okay, full like, devil's advocate. If you had to make your best case for why we would do that and the benefit, what would you say?
It's about flexing as a species.
To who?
To the rest of space.
they don't know.
If anyone's looking at us.
No one's looking.
Like, yo, we own this fucking rock up here, all right?
If anyone's watching, there's aliens going, they're doing it again. They're doing this stupid fucking thing where they go around a rock.
Yeah, if anyone's watching, this is not impressive because they're watching us.
Right.
Like, that's impressive.
Yeah. The watching. The cucks of the universe. They're just watching us.
Okay, record-breaking moon mission. Let's see, what do they do?
The records did a break.
I know it's the furthest away from Earth that anyone has ever been.
Okay, but is it like we went like an inch further?
I would guess like the radius of the moon further.
Yeah. So
not that much further.
Thousands of miles. Look, don't get me wrong. For the astronauts involved and all that, it's all fucking cool. But I hate to be these like, we got problems here, guys. Can we just figure out the stuff here before we keep doing this other stuff? Like, does the moon have some secrets that are going to solve things down here?
We don't know. That's why we got to go there.
I mean, hey, there's an entire Pink Floyd album made about the dark side of it.
Right.
And we still haven't gone there. Why don't we just go there?
10-day mission. First humans to travel toward the moon in more than 50 years. They set a new record for furthest distance ever traveled from Earth.
Okay.
Astronauts were also the first to launch on NASA's Giant Space Launch System rocket and to travel aboard the Orion spacecraft. I mean, that who cares about that?
Really making a compelling case for the moon.
Yeah, I don't think they landed on the moon.
Which that just makes me more upset.
Why did they not land on it?
We don't have the technology. Couldn't possibly land on that thing.
Yeah, it did not land on the moon. They just went around it.
Jesus Christ. Why?
Yeah, that kind of sucks. You might as well touch it if you're that close.
Even with like a stick. Just like have some robot arm, just like scrape it or something.
Draw a face on it or something.
Again, what? Oh man, it feels like we do a lot of things without any purpose. Like that, I truly, not to keep going in circles on this, I don't get it. I don't understand. like the original one was like a space race between us and Russia. There was like a huge like unification of a country against the bad guys. Now it's like we're throwing people up there to go around the moon.
Yeah. You could argue it's worse than the Katy Perry trip, because that was at least privately funded.
Sure. This is literally on like...
No one asked for this.
Yeah, this is like, listen.
They took our money and
we're gonna
sent
need like
people.
40% of your paycheck, and we're going to send some people around the moon. It's going to seem pretty nonsensical, but trust me, when we do it, nothing's going to change.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
All right. Well, okay, let's go back to the first one. Let's assume the first one happened. And so what would you say is the point of that one? Because you seem to be saying there was a point, even though it is really just a flex, right?
I think that one has more... Well, the thing that I just mentioned earlier I think was huge for at the time. Well, there's kind of two layers, some probably bad, some good. One is that we're like prime Cold War era, and our government needs to convince us that like they need to get us in the mindset of like we're America, we're the best, so they can continue to fund terrorist groups all over the Middle East. Because this was going on all well back into the 80s. Like the Taliban was created and funded by us to fight Russian opposition terrorist forces in the Middle East. So like we needed to convince America that like, yes, we're unified and this is for the right reason, and Russia's the bad guy, which can also be true that they're the bad guy to some degree, but they need to like make us believe so much in America that we continue to just let the government do whatever we want. So that's one side of it.
Okay.
Then the other side of it is an interesting time in America where I think it's around like where we're facing Russia and hot, like the miracle stuff, like maybe that's a little later. But I think there's like this era of like, we're so proud to be American. Yeah. And the moon landing was like pinnacle that. We're like, we did it. We're the country that landed on the moon. So, but again, I think there was so much purpose in that time, and now there's none.
Yeah. So the way I guess the way I learned about it in school is like it was flexing on Russia, like showing our might. Like we convinced them we had this space defense system that we just didn't have at all. Cool. Like space, like literally satellites shooting lasers and stuff.
Yeah.
We tried to convince them we were developing that. So
we're like, we got the satellite, goes to a different school.
And then they tried to do it as well and bankrupted themselves. I think that was like a big part of ending.
That's cool.
But at the end of the day, it is just a flex. So I guess maybe you could argue we're doing that now. Maybe for both reasons you just mentioned. Because it is like a chest-thumping, go America type of thing.
Right, but I think you need to be doing the chest-thumping for some net gain. You need to have something needs to... You're doing it for a reason.
Right, yeah. I'm not saying it's like justified, but like, do you think that's what they're going for at the moment?
Yeah, I think it's a futile attempt. I think you make a good point, and I think it's a futile attempt in trying to rally the American people when the doubt in America and the people who are running it is at its highest.
Yeah, it's like, oh, fuck, I just started a shitty war. Send some people to the moon.
Yeah, we're going to the moon. The people are going to love this.
Get people back on America.
Yeah, but I think, I have to imagine, most people probably, either they don't even know about it, or they see it and they're like, what? Like, look at all the other heinous shit there's so much bad shit we're doing right now, and we're just sending people to the moon. No, it just feels too much like a carrot that they're dangling in front of us.
It's cool. It's like, oh, we sent some people up there. Look at that.
Yeah, look at it. It's fine. It's great.
Yeah. But we're doing good.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think it's... God, it sucks, though, because there's astronauts who, like, probably... trained all their life and want to go do this thing, and I'm like, I don't give a fucking shit.
Hats off to them. They actually got to go. There's probably tons of other people who will never get to go.
Yeah, and probably for them too, the experience of just going is probably just like that made their life.
Yeah,
so they probably.
that is the Super Bowl of being an astronaut.
Yeah, I'd say any science person's dream is like, oh yeah, I went into space and like did stuff in a spaceship.
No,
so I don't fucking know. I just think it's so fucking silly. And I also don't have any aspiration to go unless it's really, really safe and tried and true. I don't want to fucking go to space.
Yeah, no chance.
Like I remember
no inch. Earth is so nice.
Yeah, it's great. It's literally like made for us.
It's so
we
great.
Evolved here. I mean, I remember when they were like throwing around the idea of these like private space things that like all these famous people were buying tickets to, like Leonardo DiCaprio, where they like go up and you're technically not all the way in space, but you're in space. You're like in the atmosphere, the orbits.
Isn't that what Katy Perry did? Like literally, they lift off their seat barely, and then they start descending. It's like they're barely in space.
That one was like they weren't offering tickets to random, or maybe they were. But I remember before that, they're like, we're going to start selling. They were selling tickets to these private space things. And it was like the first one they were going to do. I'm like, there's people signing up for this?
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's nuts.
That's insane.
And also, like, Leonardo DiCaprio signed up for it?
It's like, bro,
dude,
your life is so good.
We need you. Don't throw it all away for some stupid space thing. Who's also, I love Leonardo DiCaprio. He's great. But he's also like this
the biggest environmental guy.
For him to be like one of the first guys to sign up for it,
but I could go to space.
But I just remember him being on that list and be like, wait, what? Everyone's a liar? Fuck. Anyway.
So Japan. Trials.
All right. Get into the good stuff.
Our opening topic.
So, in Japan, and it's interesting because I didn't look at any other countries. I just looked at Japan and then us. And Japan, if you're getting prosecuted by their government, they have a 99.9%, what is the word for it? Conviction rate. And after seeing that, I was like, oh, because I know it's free, but it's like, it's not communism. But it's like if you can't go fuck around in Japan.
Japan's capitalist, aren't they?
They are, but I'm saying like you can come to America and you can be like, fuck the government, fuck you, I knew it. If you go to Japan, they will kick you the fuck out immediately, or they'll put you in they don't play around that way.
If you start insulting the government.
Yeah, that also, but like if you're just not,
or just not being a good citizen,
if you're not abiding by like cultural norms, they're like collectivist is the name for it. They're not communist. They're very collectivist in their culture. So, what was the point I was trying? I assume that the federal conviction rate was just that like it's so rare that people get tried in that way that's why the percent's so high. Mm-hmm. But then I look at America, and it's plus 90% that the federal government wins. Which is like, you just can't get in trouble with the federal government. The chance of you winning is so slim, regardless of the matter. There's so many federal cases that have happened in America over the course of history.
So I totally don't know how this works, but don't things usually get escalated to the federal level? Like they often start at local levels?
Not necessarily, because you could have a drug ring. DEA would be considered a federal organization, or you have someone who's a serial killer, which I guess to your point, there'd probably be initial, like it's probably rare that the FBI starts the thing. Like a serial killer was the big thing in the 70s and 80s, where the FBI got heavily involved in like profiling people to try to figure out what's going on. Yeah. But I think that was after people were getting killed so often in an area, and the local detectives and stuff were like, hey, there's some pattern. We don't know what's going on. They brought in the FBI. So I think yes, but also you can like for example, the guy who had the Silk Road, the drug website on the black market. You know this guy Russ Ulbricht. There was no. You know what the Silk Road is?
No.
Oh, so backstory. Guy Russ Ulbricht, kind of a computer guy, built. So you know what the dark web is?
Yeah.
So most of the internet is the dark web.
That's what I've heard.
The percent we see, like all the stuff that we use the internet for, I think that's like 5% of the entire internet.
How is there so much dark web?
Because there's just so much. People have servers everywhere. There's just all this space of internet that most of it's just like it's a server sitting somewhere, and you could technically have access to it if you have. It's not the IP, it's like some other address. Because I've gone on the dark web a long time ago, and might bleep this out, but I used to like buy quarter pounds of ecstasy from like fucking the Middle East. Weird connection. But for the reasons of, not the reasons, but Silk Road, Russ Ulbricht.
That's why you're so mad about Iran.
Yeah, that's right, my goddamn
Keep the
drugs.
supply coming through. Open up the strait.
Come on. Open the strait. That's pretty funny. So Russ Ulbricht makes this. He called it the Silk Road, which I think is who's the guy? Not Medici. Who's the guy that would go on the giant spice trade? I think they called it the Silk Road.
It sounds familiar.
Fuck, it's a famous. We all learned about it in public school and shit. Oh man, whatever. But there's a famous thing that was like known for trading throughout all of Asia and Europe, and you called it the Silk Road, and you could buy anything. You would go to the front page, and it would just be like China white heroin, like as if you went onto Amazon.com. I'm not even kidding.
Just advertising.
And this is, you would use Bitcoin to buy all this stuff because it's and this was back in the day when I was doing this. This is probably a decade ago. I had 30 Bitcoins because at the time they were $200, and you'd need to buy $1,000 worth of drugs and stuff like that. But you would just click on it, and you just get it shipped to we'd get it shipped to a vacant home, or some home that's foreclosed, and then you just see a mail guy just throw a package, and we just go grab it. So you have no connection to the thing. Huh. But anyway, this guy made that site, and I think also on the site there you could hire hitmen. It was literally anything you could buy. And and it's funny because most hitmen on the internet end up being FBI people. And so many people get caught because they go to try to hire someone to kill their ex-wife or some shit. And it's just some FBI agent be like, oh yeah? 10 grand. Just go fucking arrest this guy. But the point being is that there's certain crime level stuff that I don't think there's escalation required. Russ Ulbricht got caught with a website, went to prison, got actually pardoned by Trump, for which I think is good, because he made a site, but they gave him a life sentence and many times over for just having a site that sold drugs. The hitman part was entirely separate, I think.
Sure.
But it was he probably should have got a decade.
I see. Yeah. So there are crimes that you're just straight up breaking a federal law,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
Could you make the case that federal laws are for simpler, more clear-cut, more severe things, whereas state laws, you get into the minutia where it's harder to convict? Because this all stemmed from, a 99% conviction rate sounds bad.
Sure.
It's notorious.
Yeah.
Japan has that notoriously. America's is high too. But what rate would you expect was my question. Hold.
It's a very, very good point, because I haven't thought about it through that dimension of federal crime as being so serious that it's easier to just be yo, this is so fucked up. But I guess
serious and also clear. If you did it, if you get charged for, I don't know, what's a federal crime?
I mean, sex trafficking, drugs at a certain scale.
What are the odds you get
murder.
charged for sex trafficking and you weren't sex trafficking?
I don't have the answer to that question, but I do know that the sex trafficking stuff, I know, there's I remember reading about this because that Andrew Tate guy got in trouble for it a while ago. That fucking man, that guy. And I was like, oh man, because in my head, sex trafficking is drugged up women in a cage that you're having people have sex with. But then I was reading about his stuff that he got, and it's if you bring women from another you cross a country and you bring a woman from another and you pay for sex, that's considered sex trafficking. So it's there's levels to this
even
stuff.
if you pay that woman for sex.
Yes, because the trafficking part is cross country or cross borders of something, and then it's the paying for sex. Because I was looking into that, and I'm not defending Andrew Tate here. Let me make that clear.
We started strong.
Yeah, no.
Moon was fake. Jews control everything.
Okay,
I defend Andrew Tate.
There's legitimacy to these claims, and I'm being more dramatic. But the stuff he was charged for, it seemed to be in these the minutia that you described of he technically brought people from here to here, and he paid for this, and it's
sure, and that's a federal thing, right?
And it's it wasn't. From what I read and from what I understand, there's this level that even if there's consent in all parties across the whole process, they go, that's sex trafficking.
Sure.
And then it's then you have that's a federal crime.
That's a great example.
Yeah.
That was a great example.
But to bolster your point, murder is probably a lot easier to convict, especially with the technology and DNA nowadays. Like, but also, I don't think that's necessarily a federal crime by default. Like, if you just kill someone,
Murder.
Yeah, if you just go shoot someone, I don't think that the FBI doesn't come in. There has to be like a
sure.
There has to be like a enough murders, which that I think is more of the escalation thing you're talking about. But you get busted by the DEA easy. If you start selling drugs to like a few people and someone rats on you, you can get the DEA involved on some level. Which I would make the argument all that the DEA, the drug stuff is just the fact that anybody's getting put in prison for that's just fucking nuts.
But I think the point is like, what are even in the drug example?
Yeah.
What are the odds that happens on accident? The DEA gets involved and thinks you're selling drugs and you're not. I feel like that's really low, which might explain the high conviction rates.
Yeah, I think it's probably the majority is correct, but still I think
90 still is high.
90 is very high.
Yeah.
I think back to what you said earlier of like 50-50. I think I'd be more okay with that because also
I think if I didn't hear this, I feel like I would have guessed like 65%.
Yeah,
conviction.
I think I'd be more okay with that. That seems more 90%'s like your chance of ever winning against the federal government is kind of nuts.
Don't fuck with the government.
Well, yeah, I mean that should always be true, regardless of what you're doing, dude. I mean that sounds like a coward thing to say, but there's a right time to fuck with the government, and there's when which you can make the argument now's the time, but. We're all fat and not doing like no one's doing anything, dude. The only good thing that's happening right now is that almost everyone is so hyper aware of how bad the government is because of what we're actively doing that there's so much pushback from the pubic pushback, the pubic of America. But people don't like what's going on, which is good, but. It's how far do you let it go until, like, Israel has nukes.
Yeah.
So, and like they just kind of, again, we don't. We're back to Israel. This is it's just you think about the situation long enough, you go, my God, like it could take one moment of Israel go, you know what? Just throw one of these at Iran we. Every time they bomb someone, other than the thing you brought up that Trump was like, they don't know what the fuck they're doing, that one moment, we don't do it. They just keep bombing. People were like, they're Israel.
Well, it's probably hard to push back on Israel, too, because they do have nukes. You know, like, we don't want to fuck with Israel either.
Right, but we're also...
Not defending any of this,
but the pushback is just us stopping sending $100 billion. Right. Without our money... They are a small, intelligence-driven country.
Yeah.
They don't have like a big... Anything they have is because we just give them billions and billions of dollars in terms of like war capabilities.
Yeah, so it's like, why are we doing that?
You want to go down that? That's a deep rabbit hole. I feel like it'll lead us to some things that it's hard to make them sound good.
Sure, okay. I do want to get into that.
Okay.
I feel like the common take being thrown around is Israel pulls us into things. And maybe, I feel like you'll probably say that as well.
Yeah.
But like, how do they... That makes it sound like they have control over us somehow.
Oh, they do.
But how? They're like, we're so much more powerful than them.
It's all money. I mean, the biggest... So there's a book called The Israel Lobby by John Mearsheimer, who's a political scientist and a Jewish man who did an entire book and profiled this giant organized system. At the center is AIPAC, which is the Israel Lobby.
Okay.
And they have so much power that they buy so many of our politicians are heavily funded by AIPAC.
So that's where it
begins. And if those say you're a politician that's bought by AIPAC and you're 99% pro-Israel, they will find the opponent that is 100% Israel, like, for them, and they will primary the fuck out of you wherever you are in the country. Which means they'll essentially they'll fund your opponent in your state and will guaranteed knock you out because they'll just pull all your funding and fund the other person. And they've done that over and over and over with billions and billions and billions of dollars.
Okay, so there's a strong pro-Israel lobby. This is in America?
Oh, yeah. And hold on, fun fact about AIPAC. The only lobby group that doesn't have to register as a lobbying group. And they're a foreign lobbying group. So any foreign one usually gets special stuff put on top to go, this is a foreign lobbying group, and they have to register.
Okay. So why is that?
Because they give people so much money, and people in politics just don't say no.
And that's how you explain politicians funneling money to Israel, because they're bought by this lobby.
Yeah.
Their own self-interest says, I want money from this lobby, and I will do whatever you say because you're paying me. And that leads to money being funded to Israel, which leads to Israel being much more powerful than they would be otherwise.
And there's this weird mechanism of that Joe Kent guy I brought up earlier, the recently resigned director of counterterrorism, which is an extremely high position. That guy he knows what's going on at all times with the government, and he has a security clearance that is the top level, knows everything. He recently resigned and said, what we're doing is extremely fucked up.
I did see that.
And he also said, this is mostly Israel's roping us into all this stuff, and for some reason the people at the top keep buying their crap. And I've watched a couple interviews with him now where he literally says that Israel will give them intelligence, the top people, that is just so absolutely wrong. Like the stuff that Benjamin Netanyahu has been saying about like Iran's going to have a nuke in a couple of years since 1995. He said this. There's videos of him. I think I don't remember if I've showed you.
Yeah, just over the years being weak.
He just says it the same thing over and over with no grounding in like fact. And so they'll feed us that level of intelligence, like they're Mossad guys. And for some reason, our top guys go, oh yeah. And there's people like Joe Kent that are going, no, that's wrong. We have good intelligence.
Yeah.
So there's that on top of the AIPAC stuff, and it creates this behemoth of just like unconditional support for a country that's doing terrible things to people and has been for quite some time.
So how did AIPAC get so much power and money? So much money?
Well, this is the rabbit hole you're...
This is what I want to hear.
Well, there's a lot of Jewish people that ended up making a lot of money through... Well, let's go farther back, because the Jewish... I could talk so much about this, because their story's so interesting, where you go back thousands of years, the Jewish people are the first people that in Christian nations, they were allowed to do usury because usury was considered a crime. Usury is lending money. So essentially banking. So Jewish people a long, long time ago were the first ones that started to supersede their class, because back in the day you have royalty, you have people below you, maybe you have you have some in between people like priests and warriors, which could fall into lords in Europe, and samurais in Japan. These would be considered the first merchants. The Jewish people had they were the starters of a lot of this stuff.
Okay, so explain that. So you said usury was a crime?
It was a Christian sin.
Lending was a Christian sin. And because Jewish people are not Christian, they were cool with doing that. And
they were banned to do other things. So it's like
we have a need for this. Yeah. We're not going to do it.
Yes.
As Christians.
Yep. And also Jewish people
you guys are cool with it, so you do it. Fill this spot.
Yeah, and also they would say Jewish people can't do like typical trades. So in the beginning, Jewish people it was a terrible situation for Jewish people. And through this terrible situation, they gained wealth that was comparative to royalty, because it's like as if suddenly a guy can start a business and no one else can, and it's me, normal guy, and royalty.
And a business is sinful in everyone else's eyes, and you're like, I'll just do this business.
Yeah, and so those trades of usury made so much wealth for Jewish people that there was a constant propaganda against them throughout thousands of years that the Jewish people are evil, because they're the biggest threat to people in power. Because they would have wealth comparative to people ruling over people, and no one else ever did that. So that's kind of the beginning, and I'm paraphrasing massively, but throughout history, that's kind of like why Jewish people gathered so much wealth. And then also in America, at least, they started off in this way of they became very involved with entertainment. Like this, Kanye went on all those rants when he was going through this stuff of like the Jewish producers and rappers. It's a long running stereotype because a lot of producers would take advantage of people who made music and give them really shitty deals, and a lot of the producers were Jewish producers. So they had a foothold in entertainment where most of the wealth is made. And so again, they just have so much capital that they have accrued, and they're also religiously bound to the state of Israel, which has a huge, there's so many problems with that alone.
Sure.
But now through that relationship, they kind of funnel stuff back into control government. And now we're here.
Okay.
Which is, again, it's one of these, I hate to sound...
That was a coherent, good faith argument.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And there's always the important statement. This is not a thing against Jewish people. If anything, over the course of history, the case is that Jewish people were put in such a terrible situation, they prevailed. Yeah. But now, they're in a situation where they've essentially, I keep saying they, Israel and the government of Israel and a lot of people that are influencing our government are essentially doing a Holocaust in their state and also trying to wage war against...
Referring to Gaza, right?
Yeah, Gaza being the Holocaust equivalent. And also, they've been advocating to destroy Islamic countries, 7 countries around them, since 1995. Sure. For only the reason to, dominate the region. Because, layers to that. Palestinians are Muslim, which the surrounding countries around Israel are Muslim. And so Israel doesn't treat the Palestinians very well. And so the surrounding countries go, we don't like that. So you're this lone Jewish country oppressing Muslims, and the only way out of this is if a big superpower says, nope, you can't touch them while they do terrible things to these people. That's kind of the only reason they can survive in that region. If the United States pulls out and they continue to oppress Palestinians, those countries around them are going to be like,
they're going to close.
It's time to fuck you up.
Okay.
And that's kind of how this thing's been staying there.
So that's sort of the motive, because that was going to be my next question. Sure, accrued wealth, religiously bound to Israel, so it makes sense you want to funnel money back to Israel. But what is Israel's motive? Essentially to survive?
Survive, and also they kind of believe that there's a religious thing of they believe this is the
Holy Land.
They still think it's the land. This is also, it's mentioned in the Bible and stuff like that, but the region and the government and this is all stuff that was made by the UN and after World War II.
What do you mean?
So the Zionist movement is this idea that we need to go back to the Holy Land, and this was a movement. There was Jews all over the world after World War II. Yeah, and maybe rightfully so, but there's a percentage of them being we don't have a place where we belong, so we need to find a place where we belong. And so the Zionist movement is essentially them coercing largely the UK and the United Nations to figure out where Jewish people can go live. And by decree and a document, the UN said, why don't you just go over to Israel, which is mostly populated by Palestinian people. You just have it. Yeah. There's people that live there. And so what they did is they essentially said, go for it, Jewish people. You have our support. And they pushed out. They gave them the majority. They said, you could go just take it over. They moved there. A civil war obviously broke out because the Palestinians were you can't just come in here and take where we live. They didn't do it by private business means. They just moved in there and started taking shit. So that's how that all started, by just governments going, you can just go over there.
So when they go there, this was backed by the UN, right? Yeah. So how do they, when you say they're taking stuff, was it by force?
Somewhat, yeah, because they have, the Palestinians to some degree don't have the military power to push back when they have the support of the United Nations. Sure. So there was this...
So that was my question. Is the UN actually coming in with forces to support Jewish relocation back to Israel?
I think I would have to go check, but I know that it wasn't we're buying land from...
Sure.
It was people moved into place by some level of force.
Yeah,
where naturally, it just wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
So... that's the beginning of this whole situation with the Israel people and Palestine. Is people going there and going, fuck you, this is ours now. Oh, and by the way, over time, we're going to put you in like an open air prison and control all the importing and exporting and all the food.
Keep squeezing. Was that a gradual? Like keep shoving it to the Gaza Strip?
Yeah. Because initially the war broke out when they first went there, and then the Palestinians lost because they just don't have the power. And then over time has just been condensing. And at the same time, Benjamin Netanyahu's been allowing Qatari money to funnel into things like Hamas, which are these groups that rise up in these times being like, we're being oppressed by people. And Benjamin Netanyahu is on record, on video, admitting to his famous line, controlling the flame. He has to make sure that there's enough terrorist threat so that the people of Israel are always on our side of just wiping them out. His words.
That's wild. That's some 1984 shit right there.
Yeah, dude. But it's not even like, it's just on video.
Yeah.
So now we're here where all these connections we just described.
Do they have term limits over there? Like, what's Bibi Netanyahu's?
Oh, this is like his 25th year in office.
Yeah, is he just there forever?
Probably.
Damn.
That's kind of how they work in all those countries. Not to group all the Middle Eastern places to like that, but which this is something I wrote down. Anytime you see the word supreme in front of a government official, like supreme leader, supreme figure, it's bad. Yeah, you never want that. At all of the Middle Eastern countries,
it's not a good sign.
North Korea, they're all the supreme guy. It's like, dude, he is not supreme. He's a bad guy. So, not to go down that rabbit hole entirely, it is just the situation that we have now is a result of all that gunk.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Middle East is a mystery to a lot of people. I feel like most people just know there's always conflict there, and they don't really know.
They don't know why.
The history or the source of all of it. So I think that's good to go through.
Yeah, and most people, once you figure out that a lot of and there's, don't get me wrong, there's terrorist groups and all these things, and there's religious reasons, but for the most part, it hasn't gone out of this major conflict thing because bigger powers just use it as a proxy to just fight other big powers. And so you're just keeping it in a state of war, unnecessarily so.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean bigger powers?
Like the stuff during like 1980 when we started funding like Taliban and Al-Qaeda to push back Russian forces.
Sure,
we just pay guys in the Middle East to fight each other in the name of some other country that we don't disclose until way later.
Gotcha.
Because we don't want to get one up on a bigger power.
Yeah.
And we've just done that for now 40 years. And people go, oh, the Middle East it's war torn. They're so bad over there. It's like, yeah, because we've been making war.
Yeah, we're betting on it.
You can't have a civilization where war is always going on. We've proven it's impossible.
Yeah.
And the outcome is just terrorist group after terrorist group after terrorist group. Like we have the most people ever right now that hate America ever because of us. Not because they woke up and went, they're so free over there. I can't take it.
They hate our freedom.
That's literally was sold to us after 9/11. And again, not defending like an Osama bin Laden, but he wrote a detailed letter after 9/11 saying this is exactly why like we hate America. Number one thing, you have soldiers in our land oppressing our people. That's it. There's nothing about freedom. It's like, dude, get your soldiers out of my hometown. Home. That's it. Leave. It's just nuts. We're all people, man. We're all humans. But people like to think that there's some like different, terrible version of people across the world. It's like, no,
they're
dude.
Evil over there.
Yeah, right. And if today, if you went home and someone bombed your family, you'd feel the exact same way that an Osama bin Laden feels.
Whoever sent the missile, I'd be like, death to them.
Exactly. It's the most human reaction to terrible things. So, I digress. That was a lot, and I didn't mean to take up all the podcast. We're at 44 minutes.
I'm going to take a piss break.
Okay. We're back.
Oh, we're back. Okay.
What do you want to do?
I want to put a little bow on this Israel discussion.
Please.
After my long piss, I had a lot of thoughts.
I would love to hear them.
Just kidding. I don't have thoughts.
If anything, the only thing that was in your head was pee, and now you have nothing left.
Yes. Okay, so a big part of this, as the guy who just resigned kind of indicated, as you've been saying, is the powerful Israel lobby. Mm-hmm. And you kind of described historically, maybe how they've gathered such wealth seems to be like generational wealth that's accrued over time.
Yeah.
Sort of initially maybe coming from an odd religious / societal loophole.
Yeah.
Maybe loophole's not the right word, but like a norm exploited, something like that. So how do we stop this lobby? Because like you said, if you're 99% pro-Israel, that's not enough. They'll always find someone who's 100. You
have to make laws. There's no lobby that can influence foreign policy. That has to be it. That is, I think that is going to be the thing that we will have to do. And here's the really hopeful part. You have candidates now who are starting up for, I think, the midterm elections or whatever's coming up, that they're running on. I will not take $1 from AIPAC. There's tons of them. So there is a huge, this is the nice thing about all this, when the information gets out and people make the connections where they're true, they're like, politicians run on stuff that people want. Do they execute on it? President usually doesn't. Lower level stuff typically does. But the point being is that there's people taking that as their main running point, is that like, no AIPAC. None of this. Because it's just shown to not. And here's this thing too. It's a weird experiment, and like I just did like the Trump hands. Listen,
weird experiment.
Here we go. But if you look at it from Israel's point of view, they are a nation in the middle of these places. Then they all hate them. And if you're not the government, you just think all these places hate you. I guess you got to be kind of blindsided with the occupation of the Palestinians. But the point being is that they want what's best for Israel. Their best way to do this is to lobby America.
Okay.
Which every country will act in whatever's best for them. And you could bring it down to the person level.
Every person will do that too, for the most part.
Exactly. We just have to protect our nation and say, what's in our interest?
Yeah.
I don't think it's endless wars in the Middle East. And the sooner we can just agree that that's what we need to do, and we can't allow any lobby to make foreign policy. That's just not.
Well, so here's where. Okay.
Yeah.
You could run on. I'm going to take all my money from AIPAC and not do anything AIPAC says after you get elected, right? It's an extreme scenario.
Sorry, say it again.
So just because you just said like politicians often run on an issue that's popular and don't deliver.
Sure.
Meaning like once you're in office, you don't have to do what the people who voted for you wanted you to do, which is kind of bad in many ways, but I'm kind of proposing, could it be a good thing as well? Like, if AIPAC funds you, you still don't have to follow AIPAC. They just got you in office, right?
Right, but I think a typical politician so here's two sides. Typical politician wants to keep being a politician.
Sure.
They want to live in that ecosystem. There's I'm under the, aside from the few, like, I would call them brave people, like a Thomas Massey who's like, I truly want to make this thing better for people. Yeah. I think most of them get into it and they're like, I don't really give it, as long as I can stay in the system and have all these benefits, I don't really give a shit. I think that if they want to stay in there, and the idea is that if people sense that they're taking AIPAC money, they won't survive long. But also, if they go, listen, I'm not going to take AIPAC money, or I flip that. If they go the other way where they go, I'm going to take AIPAC money, and then they stop doing what Israel does or wants them to do, they'll primary them. So it's like you have to choose one way or the other if you want to stay in politics.
So I guess in theory, like in that scenario, you'd be in there for your term, which
I think most people want
2 to 4 years or whatever. But you would certainly be out if you flipped on your lobby.
Yes, and also if you flipped on the people who put you in, because you still need voting power to keep you in there.
Right, but
it's a tightrope in terms of if you want to lie to both sides or lie to one side, it's not easy to survive.
So what does AIPAC money go to? Ads that get you elected, largely?
Oh, I mean...
like when they're funding your campaign.
Yeah, I mean, it's been said many times before, so I have not coined this. Politics is just money at this point. Yeah. Whoever has the most to fundraise, you're most likely going to win. That's it. That's why you have people it's typically people who can just get millions of dollars behind their name, and it's the only chance.
But I'm all, and we're kind of splitting hairs here, but I only say that to like if AIPAC funds you, they're probably not running ads that says this guy is 100% pro-Israel. He's going to give money to Israel. Like, that's not what... No. So just because AIPAC funds you, that doesn't mean the voters are voting based on AIPAC's directive.
Sure.
So if you turn on AIPAC, you're not necessarily turning on your voters, even if you were AIPAC funded.
Right, but you can see what lobbies gave money to politicians.
Sure.
That information is public information.
But
I hear your point.
Do most voters look at that or care about that?
I think not until recently. Now it's a thing that if there's the internet will declare if you have received money from AIPAC. But I think that's just a thing that like people they're looking for now.
Yeah.
Because of all this stuff going on.
Sure.
So I think it is just this new era of politics where I think foreign lobbies, I mean, again, specifically, there's no other one like AIPAC. Like, we don't have an Australia lobby that's like goading us into stuff, or we don't have like a Russia lobby that we're letting, like, it's just, there's no other one. If you read that book by John Mearsheimer, it's insane. It's like I am so heavily paraphrasing the deep-rooted influence and corruption that it's like you read about it, you're like, holy shit. You can't believe it exists. It's so insane. Yeah. So, I mean, so if we just get to the place where we go, okay, we can't do an AIPAC. We just can't. I think that would solve all of the shit that we're going through right now.
Right. But how do you get to that place? You need
the politicians who are running on no AIPAC money.
Who hopefully aren't AIPAC funded.
Or you get the situation that you don't want it, but the potential for the relationship to break right now because of Israel just being like, fuck you, we're going to keep bombing every time the U.S. goes, we're going to go negotiate. That could put enough stress on it to where maybe, and I pray to God, the people in power go, we're not doing this anymore. We can't.
Yeah, because this all seems to depend on... money is powerful at the end of the day. That's how economics work. It's like the most powerful incentive. Mm. But like, there's got to be some... I mean, it's just a simple cliche. Like, will someone stand up for the right thing? Like someone who won't be bought.
Which I think to that point there are people like Ro Khanna on the Democrat side, Thomas Massie on the right side. They brought all the pressure from the Epstein stuff came from those two guys. Yeah, and and at the same time they passed laws for the releasal, and the government went, "Nah, we're not doing it." And they pressed harder and they pressed harder in the face of like hundreds, thousands of death threats to these people. Like they are. So people are out. Most people are trying to be good, and they believe what they're doing through their lens is good. Like Hitler thought he was doing good. He did not think he was doing evil. And I think more people are aligned with what true good is as opposed to what a Hitler would think good is. And there's faith in like most people don't want to kill or do harm or do these things, and that eventually when bad things are done, people want to correct them. That's why if it was the other way, we'd probably see a lot of people supporting this war. They'd be going, fuck yeah, go bomb. I mean, they bombed. The worst thing to come out of this that I saw or heard was that the Tomahawk missile that hit a school and killed like 140 plus 8-year-old girls and like families and parents. And we were just like, oops. It was a U.S. missile.
Yeah, I know.
That's insane.
Yeah. No, it's horrible.
And that could be front facing, and we're like, oh, fuck. You just see on your phone while you're taking a shit in the morning, and you're like, oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So I think most people see that and they go, absolutely not. We're not doing this, dude. No matter what your reasons are for Iran there's so many lies about that fucking country and the nuclear stuff. It's the same fucking thing they told us with the weapons of mass destruction, all that fucking shit. So I'm hopeful.
I don't know. My whole point is like, just because someone pays a ton of money to get you elected, it doesn't mean you're still beholden to them for the time you're in office. You won't get your next term probably, but it's like, why don't more people make better decisions?
I love the question, but
I guess when you said you can't have a foreign lobby deciding foreign policy, they can't, right? Because you still need our politicians to decide at the end of the day.
True. Yeah. But
they are going with the lobby still. So it's.
I think it shows that when money is offered without really anything put into it. So an example, like government works in this world of government just gets money. They do.
It's free.
They just extract money. It's literally they just extract money.
They get to take it.
They get to take it, and they don't have to promise anything. They could technically do whatever they want, and tomorrow we will still pay taxes because the IRS will put you in prison.
Yeah.
That's the truth of it. When you have something with that dynamic, I'm not arguing for no government, but the people who live in that environment, I think they make choices that more align with the things you're talking about, where they take money from a thing and they just do what the thing says because it's providing this like free shit.
Yeah.
I'm more of a belief when people have to work in a system where in order for me to make my wealth, I have to do good to another person, provide a service to someone.
Yeah.
People more than not don't make those terrible choices of like, they don't have, it's just the absolute power corrupts. It's just the power you gain through mutual interaction kind of like lifts everyone up, and the power in government lifts them up. And it's like this power thing just makes people do terrible. I mean, anywhere in history, whenever power gets concentrated like that, people just make bad decisions every which way. And so AIPAC is just kind of a symptom of an extremely powerful thing where you have the United States and you have all of these countries going, they got the good stuff. Let's go see what we can get. And lo and behold, those people running are vulnerable enough to where they'll let money influence us killing people in other countries. And then you have the military side of it too, like all the companies that in order for them to live, they need war to keep going. So the incentives are just broken in that sense. And those lobbying powers are even more insane.
I've heard the take our presidents, probably any politician, you should have a financial incentive to deliver on what you ran for office on.
Sure.
How could we set something up like that?
Oh, man. I mean...
Because that's how a business works. You literally have to succeed at what you set out to do, or else...
The problem is that just the people in government have power over all money.
Yeah.
So, like, if you have it, who's doing the checking on if the president gets his payday?
Who gets to take money if you don't deliver?
Yeah. And what
the government?
Yeah, exactly. Which, there's supposed...
There's different branches.
Yeah, it's the whole checks and balances idea, which works to an extent.
Like, you should have to put a deposit in. Like, Trump should put $100 million in a vault or whatever.
But then that also only means rich people can be president. How do you solve it if just like your average guy ends up...
Make it a % of your net worth.
Okay.
Like, you got to put 40% of your, like a huge chunk, 40% of your net worth into a vault, into an escrow. So, and if you don't, you'd also have to define standards for how you deliver.
See, I think you're hitting at something that we could go down this line, and what happens is like there will always be a way for the power people to kind of sidestep these rules. Like that's why even with this lobbying stuff we're talking about is like, as I'm going, hey, we need to get rid of AIPAC, we need to do this. I still think they'll find a way to get, whether it's through charities or something, they'll find a way to funnel money to people that's not so obvious.
Yeah.
And so this is what kind of goes back to the libertarian like philosophy, is that you just have to make government smaller. You can't, the bigger it gets, the more these things just will happen and the more power it has. So you got to get it to a level where they're not making decisions that can alter your life.
Right.
It has to be more driven by a market. You have to have law and order, but you can't have this behemoth that's like programmed to do war eternally and also use taxpayer money to provide really shitty services for every single person in the country. It's just not sustainable.
The weird thing is it sort of is market driven in a way with how heavily lobbies influence people, right?
Sure, but I would make the argument that is like, it's a market that no one else has access to. There's no benefit outside of the person in the lobby.
Yes.
Which I can see the parallel to the market in the sense of like if I make a business and you buy something from my business, we're benefiting each other. But the impact of the government affects everyone. So if you're using the power of the government and letting someone lobby you, you're affecting people who didn't sign up for it. Like all the people aren't going, yeah, take money from that lobby. I love this. They get no benefit from you making this huge decision.
Yeah.
So the economic term for it would be called an externality, where a market example of this would be like if I buy a motorcycle and I live in a neighborhood and now I fly up and down the street all day and I pollute the air around me. The pollution of the air is an externality that's like not accounted for because I buy something and people not involved with the transaction get affected by the pollution in the air.
Okay.
So an externality from the lobbying aspect is like, guy gets lobbied to advocate for war. Now millions of people are affected by an externality that is like a random guy who received no benefit from that transaction has to put his life on the line.
Yeah.
It's just economic fancy stuff in terms of terminology. But it's all like the farther you get away from immediate like trade, I guess you could call it, the more things get messed up. The more not involved the
more
people,
layers of abstraction.
Yeah, the bigger it gets, the more it's mostly because you can't plan for all of the situations that happen when a decision is at that scale. That's why you've probably heard like central planning is what communism is. It's where
and it doesn't work ever.
It does terrible things.
Right.
It's because you have
even if you have good intentions.
Totally. You can make the argument that Hitler, Stalin, Lenin, all Mao in China, who starved 80 million people, they all were like, this is what we should do.
Yeah.
Like Mao was like, we're going to collect all of the farmers' grain and we're going to store it all in a place and we're going to distribute it all over China so everyone has food. And what happens? They miss a lot of areas and they forget about food and a bunch of people starve. And so it's like the human brain and even a group of humans, hundreds, thousands of humans, can't plan for millions and all the intricacies that humans have in their lives. It never works.
It's too complex. The best way is to let it free so it settles itself.
Yeah.
Right?
The market is proven to be so efficient when you let individuals and businesses interact. An example that a lot of more free market guys will point to that's not your typical market argument is that think of language and how that has developed with no force.
Right. No central planning.
Nothing.
And it's so intricate.
It is.
It's complex, and we all know it instantly.
Yeah. Another one would be music, too, that a non-typical argument. It's just, it has developed, and there's been no force in any direction, but it translates so well, and people pay huge money for it.
Yeah.
It's just, let it be.
Let it be.
The Beatles.
Why don't you sing for us?
Oh, I got this. All right, we're at an hour. Do you want to just keep going?
Yeah, fuck it.
We're fucking here, dude. We got hella topics. We just cut this up into fucking 2 episodes. It'll be great. All right. Oh, this is actually a funny one while we're on the kind of Israel stuff. I was reading the Old Testament, and this happened I'm almost done with it. But you go back a couple months, I was hitting the part where the people of Israel are just like warring with all of the people, the Canaanites.
Wait, sorry, you're Old Testament?
Old Testament.
Okay.
And all the stuff is going on with Israel in the real world, and so I'm reading this stuff, and Israel's like, it's a really weird thing to read.
Like drive out your enemies, all that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not Exodus. Fuck, what is it?
Leviticus.
I think it's past Leviticus. It's the way where Israel is like, there's all this land that they have to go take from the Canaanites, and so it's just like chapter after chapter of them going to a place and slaughtering tons of people.
Dude, that's like the hardest part to read. Like, it's crazy, dude. Like, it's weird to think God would just take one side in a battle. That's been like one of my biggest struggles reading through that. So I share the same sentiment of like, it was so hard to understand. And when I've tried to listen to some theologians discuss what this is, and it's almost the way I've understood
this kind of what's happening is that God is kind of meeting humans where they are, and this is like the Bronze Age of human. Like this is, we're pretty primitive and warlike.
Yeah.
And through this God meeting us where we are, there's a lot of misinterpretation of what God wants us to do. And so I think we only at that point know war is like the thing. And so it's like this level of us kind of receiving this message and be like, oh, we got to do this, and acting this way and saying this is what God told us. Not saying that's necessarily entirely wrong, but there's this layer of like, the only way for humans to evolve to this state of like, where Jesus comes down is like, you know what? I'm finally just going to put myself, God, in Jesus so I can actually like show them the godlike thing. It's like the Old Testament feels like a progression of like monkey man, ugga brain, and God being like, guys, stop doing that. Stop doing that. Because like the Israelites fuck up all the time. It's God constantly being like, guys, stop.
That's like the whole Old Testament.
Yes.
It's just God being like,
up
left and right.
But I think in that too is this thing of forgiveness that is like kind of the center of a lot of Christianity, is that like, in order for things to get better, you have to forgive through this process. And the Israelites being like the biggest fuck up in the book, where they fuck up and they like the fucking Mount Sinai thing, where they get to Mount Sinai, and is it Joshua? Whoever the guy is who's leading them at the time is like, listen, you guys stay down here. God's at the top of the mountain. I want to go up there, get the 10 commandments. I'm going to get the word from God, and I'm going to come back down, and we're going to have these like commandments from God. Yeah. He goes up. The first thing they do is make an idol.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And
that's Moses, I think, right?
Oh, maybe it's Moses. I forget. It's either Joshua
right.
or Moses.
I know this. He leaves for 5 minutes, and they're like, he's like, yo.
They immediately make an idol. And he gets to the top of Mount Sinai, and God's like, look at what they did immediately. And so it's just like this story of forgiveness and fuck up and forgiveness and fuck up. I'm at the Israelite part. And each chapter is like, is the Israelites fight X town, the Israelites take this town, and one of them was the Israelites take AI. There's a town called AI, and I was like, no fucking way. It's just like, dude, just sitting there reading it, like the war stuff with Israel's going on.
It was prophesied.
Literally, dude, it's like the world right now is like Israel shit and AI, and it was just the Israelites attacking.
Don't let them meet.
No. But goddamn, yeah, I thought it was. I can't wait to get to the New Testament. I'm so over the old. It's just.
Are you? I'm also reading through it right now.
Yeah, I'm reading the New Living Translation. I tried reading the. Is it the old
English Standard Version?
Yes, and that's just, it's so hard to read, dude.
It's very hard to read.
The New Living Translation is like written like plain English, so it reads more like a book, which people might argue like that's not what the true word is. But I wasn't going to get through the old one. Like, I couldn't do the standard version. It takes me... I don't even know what they're saying a lot of the times. And I have to go, like, to a study Bible and see, like, some guy who's like, this actually means that it's a pig and not a cow, even though they said pig. And it's like, okay. So, again, that's just me being more dumb than anything.
No, it's horrible.
I want to get to the New Testament. I keep hearing that's where the good stuff is.
I heard the sequel's awesome.
You joke, but I'm serious. Like my brother who's so involved, like has read it, is like, dude, trust me, the Old Testament, it makes you feel like it's a different book entirely, which it is. Yeah. But it's almost like the new one, the Jesus stuff slaps extra hard.
Gee, it's walking on water? Are you kidding me?
It's
unreal.
Wine from water?
Just turns into Marvel in the second half.
He's just a fucking superhero.
Yeah, pretty much.
So you're reading it right now?
I am, yeah.
What made you want to... Have you read it before?
My whole family's going through it. I come from a very religious family, so we're all going through it.
All right, so is it like kind of like book clubbish right now, where you're all reading it separately?
A little bit. I'm behind. They just finished the whole thing, and I'm like...
Old and new, or just old?
Old and new, yeah.
Damn, dude.
So there was a point, like, it's like a read it every day type of thing for a year. Yeah. Finish the whole Bible in 1 year.
Gotcha.
And I could not quite keep that pace, but I'm like...
Are you reading the standard...
English Standard Version? I read / I listen to it on my commute.
Okay.
Which is tough because, like you said, the language is brutal. So half the time,
if you want a cheat code, you ever heard of the Bible Project?
No.
It's literally a site that has made like these awesome animated videos encapsulating every single piece of the Bible in like really interesting and engaging way. That's where I started. Because I was doing the standard version, and I was like, oh my god, this is taking so long. Find the Bible Project did that, and they're like, if you like this, just go by the New Living Translation. Okay. Because it's just so digestible. If you like reading and you like books, it's just easy to read. Okay. So sure. But that's awesome that you're also reading.
Yeah, I've seen ads for they made like a manga version of the Bible.
Oh my
with like sick art.
Dude, that's awesome.
Which was kind of tempted.
Jesus.
I was like, that might get me into it.
That's pretty awesome. I might actually look into that.
Dude, it looked pretty sick.
Yeah. Oh man, that's good stuff.
But yeah, dude, Old Testament, just the wars and the thing that gets me is just it feels like God just snap of the fingers, he'll wipe out a whole fucking group of people without caring, seemingly. And it's like, why did he pick one group to love more than everyone else? That's what bothers me.
Yeah. I definitely don't have the answers for that. It's one of those things that part of my biggest struggle with that information is always like, it's just been translated. Like, this is something that was made so long ago, and who knows, like, the distortion that's happened between the iterations. And I wonder how close to the truth it is. But then also, like, I know of stuff in the New Testament, and just the message overall, the message is so
it's so different.
It's different and great. And also, what really got me interested in this stuff is, like, when you look at the human history, I used to think that trade and free markets were like the thing, which they did catapult humans into a better situation, but like it got people from this like religious zealot war crap. And then you look at it and it's like Christianity had a huge part in like instilling into the foundation of humanity, just like the 10 Commandments, did huge things for the world. Having those guidelines for most of the world changed everything.
Just simple rules.
Yeah, but like in general, be good is kind of like, encapsulating the 10 Commandments. Yeah. And I don't think that idea was really like said in mass until Christianity. Like you have other religions kind of like doing a version of it, I think, and some get it more right than wrong. But I think there's a moment in history where they're like, dude, this thing. And you see humans change in a way that didn't really happen.
The thing you always hear, which sounds kind of crazy to us probably, but like Jesus's message was like fucking crazy for the time. Like the things he was saying, people were like, yo, what? Like, even though like we always hear like love your neighbor, like be good to your enemies, even like all that stuff. But it's weird to think of that just upending the collective thought of a society.
To give context to that statement too, I forget what part it is in the book, but it was brought up in an episode of Always Sunny, which makes me always think of it, where Mac is trying to hook up with the transvestite girl at the gym, and then she literally has a penis, but she's a super hot actress, and he's like, at one point he decides, he's like, nah, I can't do it, and she ends up getting with this like big black guy. And Mac's like, now that she has a boyfriend, now I got to get with her kind of thing. And so
I haven't seen this episode.
It's a great episode. But there's a point where he goes to the gym and the big black boyfriend's there. And he's like saying how, dude, I love the fucking show because he's saying that the relationship between the black guy and her is unholy because it's a gay relationship. Okay. Which is his ploy to trying to get with her. It's so fucking nuts. But he quotes the Bible at the black guy, and the black guy brings up a quote that's like, if you need to, it says something on like a slave.
What a journey to this reference.
Yeah, well, the quote is worth it, I promise. It's something along the lines of, slaves usually get 5 lashes, but today you shall give your slave only 2 lashes. Saying like, you need to treat your slave better. And he quotes that in the show. It's funny because he's saying like, the Bible's saying to lash your slave less, but the context of like how mind-blowing this information was to people at the time, the idea of being nice to your slave was like you would get hung in the square of the town. Be like,
Sure.
you're fucking insane.
Yeah.
Suggesting that this idea of be good was so far away from the average man.
Which
That's like
that's nuts.
It's so nuts. But like, if you know that context, the Bible it's a massive piece of progress compared to like what humanity was.
Yeah.
If you take today's context and apply it, you go, oh, what a horror story. But if you go, oh wait, people were like not good.
That is a very good point. And I have heard like all those crazy stories in the Old Testament that people often cite to be like, what is the Bible? Like insane, like incest, rape, like literally all the worst things happen.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of that is just to repeatedly show how horrible these people were.
Yeah. I think
So maybe it's just a massive piece of context building, like all the Old Testament.
I think so. I think that's a great point. It's literally, I think, it's impossible to put what a man was like in the Bronze Age of humanity.
Yeah.
If suddenly we can put that information into someone's head, you'd go, wow. It's crazy that anyone
Bronze Age simulator.
Yeah, yeah, dude.
Like, oh shit!
Oh my god!
I want to kill
Christianity rules. But it is one of those things. It's a history thing. Where like,
yeah.
I feel like I bring up this statistic all the time, but it's like before. I think even before like 1800, it's like 99.9% of the people in the world are like mud hut poor, like living in like nothing. Like you literally have a mud hut.
Like I have this couch.
Like, and I'm like, if we went back to the 1600s, no one could even imagine. I would be like the god on the planet in terms of weather. You'd be like, "Whoa, my god!"
You bring your AI back to the 1600s,
no, dude. You break some people, but it's just. I wish more people had that context because it's such a good lesson in like the progress that we've made and what we're doing now is so good. And granted, it can go the other way too, where people over progress with like the far woke stuff and all that. Not to say obviously the right doesn't do terrible things, but the trying to make things more progressive leads to also not great stuff. But anyway, let me find something else.
Read the Bible.
Yeah, that's the lesson from this podcast. Go read the fucking Bible.
All right, let's do a silly one to close on.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah! My bet just paid out because Atlanta beat Cleveland.
Nice.
Let's go. Let's see. Oh, we already talked about a bunch of these. And we talked about the Japan stuff.
Nancy McGushin.
Oh my god. We already talked about that, didn't we?
I know, yeah, I just saw it. I will never forget. Nancy McGushin. Nancy, I hope you're listening.
I mean, if one day this ever reaches Nancy, I'm going to be mind blown. God damn. I did hear a nice thing, and it was weirdly on a Reddit subreddit, and I don't even remember the context, but I think it was, like there's this famous trope of like dad adopts pet and or like the family wants a pet, the dad gets the pet for the family, he's like, I don't want a fucking dog, and then he ends up being like the dog's main person and he loves the dog more than anyone in the family.
That happened in my family.
Yeah. So I was reading a story that was like, this happened, the dad let the family get a cat, and the cat just loved the dad. It loved the dad more than anyone in the family, and the dad still being kind of like, he would still pet it when the cat would come up to him, like lay on him and stuff. And the person said, oh wait, that's not the right quote. He said, the person said, my dad did this because he understood the misunderstood. Being like, the cat doesn't even know, like he doesn't know that the dad doesn't love him, but the dad understands that the cat's misunderstood, and he has empathy for people who feel misunderstood, so he pets the cat.
Okay.
Which I thought it was a beautiful quote. Found in a Reddit subreddit.
Sounds like something Jesus would say.
Truly. It was like, I mean, the idea that the dad probably has felt misunderstood throughout his life, and has seen something that feels misunderstood, wanting affection from him. He gives affection through that empathy.
You're saying the cat was why was the cat misunderstood?
Because it would keep approaching the dad, even though the dad's like, I don't want to. The dad doesn't want the cat, doesn't want to pet the cat, and the cat's like, I want to be pet.
And the cat, okay.
Because the cat, it's misunderstood because it still wants affection from something that doesn't want him.
I think that's also just a testament to the absolute masters of manipulation that cats are.
Okay.
Because he flipped his own. It's like a horseshoe. Like he doesn't want the cat.
Yeah.
And the cat doesn't understand that the dad doesn't want him. Which makes the dad want him.
Yes. That's some like mastermind
cat
stuff.
It's crazy. The cat still got what it wanted.
Yeah. But also, in the situation where... so this is a unique dad, though. This is what I'm saying. Because there could be a man or a dad out there that when the cat goes to pet him, he hits the cat. Or he's like, fuck you, get away from me.
Okay.
I'm saying that this dad, because he probably felt misunderstood, sees the cat being like, oh, love me, even when he's kind of like cold to the cat. Yeah. He's like, okay, he doesn't know any better kind of thing. And I have also been in that situation. Okay. Again, this is...
I want to know the dad's backstory.
Oh, he's a criminal.
Why
started the Silk Road?
Why was he misunderstood?
No, he's probably a cat. Let's end on the dog tail thing I saw. How about that? That's a fun one. Unless you have, I feel like I've been talking a lot. Do you have anything you want to end on as opposed to me just ranting?
No, I want dog tail.
Okay. So I'm out walking the other day. Beautiful day out. Sun's out. It's probably like 60. I had shorts and a t-shirt on. It was fucking bananas. Walking around. Great walk. I get over to where you used to live over in 3rd Ward, and I'm like, I see in the distance a dog on a leash, and then I see, and it's like on grass, I see his owner kind of like bent over near the grass, but kind of away from the dog, like picking stuff up. So I'm like, dog owner's picking up dog shit or something from the dog. And then I see another tail in the distance, and I'm probably like a block away from him. So I like just got onto the block where he's on, and I'm walking towards him, and I'm like, my brain's doing this thing where I see a tail, and I'm like, is the dog in between his legs? Is the dog like, because I can't see another dog, but he's positioned in a way where he's like bent down picking stuff up, where maybe a dog's in between his legs or perfectly behind him, to where the dog tail's popping out and making this illusion that the man has a tail.
Okay.
And so as I approach, I come to find out this is just a guy who has put a fake tail in his pants and has a hole in the back of his pants where the tail is coming out. And the guy is also picking up like gravel along in like one of the side fucking grassy parts on a sidewalk. And I didn't know what was going on. I mean,
he was walking a dog.
And he's walking, which the dog was kind of just watching.
So you got close enough to see that it was indeed a tail under his pants, and he had a hole in his pants.
Oh, I could have grabbed the tail. I walked by him on the sidewalk. Yeah.
That's a new one. I haven't seen that.
I guess I
also feel like you haven't been outside in a while. So maybe your mind was playing tricks on you.
Is that song playing right now?
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. You hear something?
I don't know if you're kidding now. It had to have played recently. Fuck you, man.
Fucking crazy.
I got a tail. But fair point. But I do go outside. I go for walks.
All right.
But I don't think I've ever seen. I'm all for being yourself and doing whatever you want. It is just jarring to see a grown man with the tail sticking out of a pants where he made a hole.
No other dog features on this guy?
No.
No ears?
Nope, purely tail.
Just tail.
He had a hat.
He had a hat.
But he was your typical, like, I think he had dyed hair, had a hat, septum piercing.
Okay.
He was, a free spirit's not even the right word. He's just like like a furry person.
Does this count as a furry? I feel like furries wear like full mascot.
I
type.
think there's got to be in between for furry stuff. If you have a tail,
maybe he's transitioning.
He got it surgically implanted. The next step is getting actual fur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he's on the bleeding edge of furry. Maybe that was a real tail. Was he wagging it?
It seemed pretty still. But again, he was picking up gravel.
Why was he picking up? That's such a weird wrinkle. Here, why the gravel?
You understand me, because this is exactly like, I think the tail would have been more okay if he wasn't just randomly picking up gravel.
Yeah, what's he doing with that gravel?
And why that gravel? It's just like it's so in public.
Was he picking up dog shit too, or no?
No, that's what I thought initially. Okay. Because I saw a dog on leash, I saw his tail, I saw him bent over, and for the record, I started at like the beginning of a block, so I probably had 5 to 6 minutes of, not 5, maybe 3 minutes of walking towards him, and the guy's picking up stuff the entire time. So after the first minute of me walking to him, I'm like, that can't be dog. Like, how much? The dog's small, by the way.
Yeah.
The dog's small, so it had to. If it did poop, 1 scoop, you're done. So this guy's picking up stuff for minutes, and I also walked past him. He's still picking up stuff. Which again, if it's just the tail, I think I'm like, that's weird. But the gravel with the tail. Where's the gravel going?
Where's the gravel going? Maybe he's like you know how birds need to eat gravel to like digest stuff in their throat?
Yeah, like it mashes up food inside of them.
Maybe he's got another friend who's transitioning to be a bird. He's picking up some gravel.
I hate that it's logical, but that sounds crazy, but I also think that could be real.
I feel very sane right now. I think that was a good logical deduction, given the premise of what you told me.
It's so crazy that we live in a world where that could be a thing. But then I think of like,
yeah, even with that, I'm like, like if that was 10 years ago,
that guy would be shot in the street. Dude, that wouldn't be out in the open. Well, 10 years ago, I guess, is still 2016. That's where a lot of the acceptance stuff is kind of on the peak. Where it's starting to be like, listen, like there's a billion genders and there's like...
Are furries accepted?
Way more than they've ever been.
For sure.
I mean, they have like furry conventions and shit.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. Which also like... there's a lot of reasons it's weird, but the main thing that I have that makes me feel really weird about the furry stuff is that like you're imagining you're an animal, so then they get off to animals technically.
Yeah.
It's like kind of bestiality but not thing, and that's where I'm like,
it's as close as they can get.
That's what freaks me out about it.
Right.
Because it's like if they feel that way about animals that are, or humans pretending to be animals.
Is there like a dom sub type of thing in that community?
Probably.
Because a lot of them probably get off on being the animal.
Yeah. But I think a lot...
But there are others, to your point, where it's more like a bestiality thing.
Yeah.
Presumably.
It's just such like a... It's one of those things where I wonder if we were to say, hey, we can't do that. Like as a society, we're like, listen, if you keep it in your bedroom, like... Are we okaying a thing that more than not those people are fucked? Like, is that fucked up?
Being a furry?
Yeah, like... Okay, hear me out. There is, in the midst of all of this super, like, accepting everything, there was this lane of it that was like, oh, pedophiles are just minor attracted people.
You were going to pedophilia, yeah, right.
So that's where I'm like, is the furry stuff just like an extension of the bestiality? Like, yeah, this is... Grant, they're not they're fucking each other in suits, but is the foundation an attraction to animals?
I think for a lot of them, it's got to be.
Which makes me go, we should not... I don't want to
Which makes me think we should dress adults up as kids.
Yeah. And
solve pedophilia.
As in... Wait.
You made the analogy.
No, I know, but like you dress an adult like a kid, it doesn't... They still look like an adult.
Yeah, it doesn't hit the same.
No, definitely. I just imagine a pedophile like, yeah, it's just not it.
But like a large anthropomorphic cartoon dog doesn't look the same as a dog. So maybe I'm pushing back. Is it an actual animal attraction thing, or is it something else?
What else would it be? That's the like. What else? If it's a furry, literal animal-looking thing. It's not like there's not room for like interpretation of what the suits are. They're animals. Like, what else could it be?
Yeah.
And again, I'm not trying to kink shame.
So okay.
Sorry, I just got to defend myself for a second.
No, yeah, go ahead.
But it is one of these things where when there's these mass waves of like everything's okay, everyone's just expressing what they want. It's like we gotta have some guardrails.
We're gonna hit boundaries.
Yeah, which I think.
I would argue whoever started saying, "Oh, they're just minor attracted people."
Well, that one,
that's a boundary. That's no. We're gonna rein that back in.
I mean, the fact that ever got to a point where people were going on public television and saying these things is.
I mean, I think there's still people who have that mindset,
but I think.
Yeah, it got squashed.
Yeah. Like, but people who are saying that people are like, yeah, that person's a fucking weird child sex person, but it got to a point where like there was political figures being like, listen, they just need to be accepted. And did you know that like, you know, pedophiles are more than likely to be sexually abused and stuff like. It's like they're trying to just like. I get the take of a lot of those people were fucked up, but we can't go on the other side and go, we got to accept this. This is fucking insane.
Yeah, we can't.
So again, not to put this all on furries, just saying that when I see those things, I'm like, I'm going to sound so conservative, but like, do we not have any like, hey,
are there no rules?
Yeah, what is this? It just feels so, and maybe I'm not kinky enough, but man, the suit stuff, where, I feel like it always escalates, doesn't it?
What, furry stuff?
Anything that's like out of the traditional, like you having sex with another human being. I feel like if you need some weird thing to get off,
it's gonna keep. Yes, it's gonna.
Yeah, like
that's true of porn as well. Like porn addiction,
it just ramps.
You got to get weirder and weirder to get the same.
So why would the furry one not get weirder? It's already pretty weird.
I would say the furry thing is an arrival at the weirdness.
That's fair too.
But it could get.
Yeah. Could be the pinnacle. It could not be. But I'm not. What do I fucking know? I mean, there's people who like drink piss and want to get shit on too. Which also I would be like, I mean, do what you want, but goddamn, dude, this is fucking so nuts.
That's the proper response. Like, damn.
Like if you were in a situation. Which, thank God, I've not been. If you were like courting someone, maybe you're dating them, or you're about to have sex with them for the first time, and they're like, "Listen, I can really only have a good time in sex if I can like, I gotta shit. You gotta shit on me, or I gotta shit on you." And say you've gotten to a point where you love this person. How about that?
Wow.
Well, actually, that doesn't make sense though, because like,
you were both saving yourselves, and then on your wedding night.
Oh no! And dude, just imagine the kind of person who saves themselves, and then that's the first introduction to sex.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. For one of them, it's insane, and then the other person, it's like, I've been waiting for this.
Well, for the person who wants the shit stuff, is it also their first time?
Yeah. Yeah,
they just know it in their heart.
They thought it was leading up to this.
This person's built their life around like, I can't wait for the shit stuff.
Their parents told them, they're like,
oh, dude,
we waited to shit on ourselves.
This is a villain arc. Because they have their world built.
For who? For the shitter or for the shit on? Maybe both.
I think it's more likely that the person who's been told all their life that it's all about the shitting when it comes to sex is that when they get confronted with that most people don't want that, they become the villain.
Okay.
Because then they still want the shit. Their entire psyche is around shit.
And then they start shitting on people unconsensually.
Exactly.
Like
shit rape.
From from balconies and stuff.
Yeah. And the shitter could be their villain name or something. I don't know. Shit stain.
I like shit stain.
Shit stain's better.
Shit pain.
Shit pain. Are they in pain, or I guess the person would probably be in pain. They're getting shit on.
They deliver pain
via shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe one more thing before we wrap up.
Yeah, sure.
But we'll do something that's a little lighter than people's kinks.
I think we should open with that one.
I mean, I can always clip it up. I can just cut the end and put it in the front. Anything's possible.
People need to warm up for Israel-Palestine, and I think they should do it by listening to furries and shitters.
It is. I mean, the contrast of topics in this episode. We talked about warfare for probably the first 45 minutes, and then we wrapped into furries.
Like, shit, what do we miss?
we cover everything. Let's see. Edit voting polls. Hold on, I'm just going to go up and pick one. Sorry, audience. I know you're fucking on the edge of your seat.
I'm looking for non-political topics.
Yeah. There's some in here. Oh my god, I went too far.
Who is Jimmy Savile?
Oh, I mean, that's a really dark one, but you know, like over in America, we have Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
The UK's version of that was this guy, Jimmy Savile, and I think he holds the records for most child sex accusations. It's like 500. Wow. And weirdly enough, do you know who Louis Theroux is? The documentarian guy?
No.
You probably know him if you saw him. He's like this tall, kind of meek-looking British dude. But he makes killer documentaries. Ones where like he goes to prisons and lives there for... But he did one on Jimmy Savile because before all this stuff came out, again, Jimmy Savile was like the Mr. Rogers of the UK, and everyone loved Jimmy Savile, and he would host all these fucking child game shows and child things. And then Louis Theroux does a documentary about Jimmy Savile, being like, oh, look at your influence on this thing. And I think it leads Louis Theroux to finding out that there's been like hundreds of people who've accused him of things, but it hasn't really like surfaced in the UK. And then he pops the cork on like, this guy has raped like 500 children.
Oh my God.
There's a Netflix documentary made about it that is so insane. Like this guy got away with just molesting children on a scale that no one's ever done in the history of mankind that we know of.
Damn.
Yeah.
More than Epstein?
Yes. Because think about that guy, Jimmy Savile, had access to children on a, like, all of his shows were just tons and tons of, and he did it for like 30 years, dude. Epstein's, you can make the argument that like he had kind of underage people, and we're talking true children in the Jimmy Savile one, and also Epstein stuff was like trafficking women, some being underage and younger, but not like on the scale. I think I could be wrong on that, obviously, but
did Mr. Rogers ever have any issues, or is he clean?
It's funny you say that because after the Jimmy Savile stuff, I was like, I gotta go find out about Mr. Rogers.
Well, no, I feel like everyone has the intrusive thought in the back of their mind, like, does that guy like kids?
Yeah. Like,
we all wonder.
I mean, but yeah, thank God Mr. Rogers has a clean slate.
Thank
that would
God.
be truly, I mean, think about it, because in the UK, that reality shattered for them. Imagine if Mr. Rogers had raped all the children that he interacted with.
It'd be tough.
Yeah, there's generations that grew up on that fucking guy being like, this is the dude.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had people like that, right? Not quite Mr. Rogers, but
Bill Cosby, kind of, I guess.
Yeah, that's probably the closest.
But, like, I'm trying to... I don't know if there's any, like, children... Well, I guess a lot of the Nickelodeon shit with that one... What's the fucking guy? Is it Dan? The guy who was, like, running all the Nickelodeon shit. There's that documentary that came out called All Quiet on Set that everyone was talking about, where, like, there was a bunch of weird fucking rape shit going on.
With Drake and Josh, right?
Drake and Josh, a lot of the Nickelodeon people that were, like, on shows and young people just getting abused by the Nickelodeon staff, which is just... I watched so much Nickelodeon growing up, dude.
I know, dude. I know.
Like, in that documentary, it just puts a weird light on, like, you think of all the slime stuff, where it's just, like, people getting, like, cum blasts in their face all the time. The fucking logo of Nickelodeon's a giant foot. And the Dan guy who ran it was like all about weird feet stuff. It's just so bad.
Oh, it was a giant foot.
It was, dude. I'm telling you. If you watch
I didn't even notice that.
Dude, go watch that. If you want to really fuck up your night, watch the All Quiet on Set one and the Jimmy Savile one. You go like, oh, true evil does exist on this planet.
Yeah.
But
does that in a weird way make you feel better about the state of things? About your own life, maybe?
no.
No.
No, I don't know. Let me think about that. Yeah, it just makes me more confused.
That's a good answer.
Well,
Because I don't know how I would answer that either.
Here, take this, because I've run through this in my head a couple times whenever I see something really, really dark, where I know you decently enough to where I assume, like, how I view things in my head, I assume you see it through a similar light in terms of, like, how to be good. Like, we were having this conversation about Christianity and goodness.
You think I'm good?
No, I'm lying to you. But this idea that, like, between me, you, the people I know, and that I surround myself with, it almost, like, builds this thing where I think that most people are just, like, good people. And, like, the idea of, like, abusing a child like that, it doesn't make sense. Like, in my head, like, I can't compute the behavior that takes one to get there, which obviously if you break it down, you know, you can, the massive abuse makes more abuse, but it when I try to logically think through, like, okay, here's this true evil thing, and I go, I just don't get it.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good that you've arrived at that.
But I think on the flip side of that, average people like you and me, which I everyone likes to hope so, like, take Germany and Nazis, for example, ended up doing things that person probably had the same thought we're having now. We're like, I would never, ever do that. And pressures your average person ended up doing some terrible things, which I like to hope that most people wouldn't. But you see, I mean, Germany wasn't all evil people, you know?
Yes. I think politics is a little different than, like, serial kid raper. I think you can get into politics and start with good intentions, and you either get corrupted over time, or it's so complex the decisions you make despite best intentions are going to have bad effects for some people. I think politics is complex and a little different than just, like, pure evil.
But I hear what you're saying, because I think there's not, to your point, like, a Jimmy Savile's not being coerced by an entire nation to do terrible things.
Yeah, he chose to do all that.
Yes, he more elected to do whatever the fuck he did.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess that's a good point. There is more unfiltered versions where it's just like, here's a man, and today he's going to decide to go rape a child. And that's just his day.
Yes.
And it's like...
yeah, he is.
And your average man that is so far away from what they would ever do that, again, for me, when I think about, like, waking up and having a thought that would ever be a thing is, like, it scares me because it feels like I don't know people. That's
okay.
Like,
okay.
I feel like my human experience is human experience. That sounds wrong, but it's like there's not a lot of variation in terms of, like, here's human emotions, here's how I deal with them. Sometimes I deal with them bad, sometimes I deal with them better.
Yeah, I wonder about that. It's like, if you could just spend a day in someone else's head,
it's probably so different. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah, I don't know. How different do you think it would be? Depends on the person.
I guess, yeah.
Imagine you jump in Kanye's brain. And you just get
that guy.
Just get morphed into Kanye.
I'd have a lot of strong feelings about things.
How are you dealing with that?
I don't know, man.
What kind of thought? You're going to get some crazy thoughts hitting you that you'd never even conceived of.
I don't know
where I'm going with this, by the way. I'm just spewing.
I think it's a good point, because all we know is what's in our head to some extent. Like, the most convincing thing in our lives is kind of what's going on inside of our head.
But to your point, like, previously, I feel like we've connected. We have other friends that are very similar. And
that's like, it's almost conditioning feedback that my experience is not so far off from others' experience. But at the same time,
you don't wear a tail. You don't pick up gravel.
Yeah, that's what you know. But I would say at the same time, the connection I have with close friends is not like most people. I can connect, but there is a level where everything after I'm like, I don't fucking get it. For a lot of people.
Wait, what do you, like you can't go further?
Yeah, like I think purely like not even purely. It extends to a lot of different areas, but like humor for me, there's very few people that I can keep pushing the envelope. Like Dylan are like, I have friends that I feel safe being as funny as possible, and they understand I really just want to make everyone laugh.
Right.
And I feel like most people, even if I spend a long time with them, they're like, you can't do that. And again, that makes me sound like I'm doing some crazy shit, but it is. I just think your average person just doesn't. And this, I feel like I'm sounding so egotistical right now, but like, people just don't. There's a layer of something that's missing that I'll hang out and I'll be like, yeah, it's fine, whatever, and then I find myself coming back to my place and being like, all right, be myself. And most people probably feel that to some degree,
right?
But I feel like that a lot in the world.
I feel that too, man.
Yeah, which is like, again, this thing of, do I really know people, and am I really that weird?
What the fuck is wrong with me?
It's like, dude, if I come home and suddenly it's like, oh, thank God, and no, it's like, dude, what? Like, what?
Yeah, are you a fucking alien?
I don't know.
We've gone to both extremes, but no, I've felt that like when I was on the dating apps, dude. I was meeting new people almost every week. Dude, like nobody connected on a humor level.
The rawness of trying to date outside of people you met organically.
It's crazy.
It's so nuts.
Yeah.
Talk about the testament to how different people can be.
Yeah.
Where like you have all these like digital profiles, like, yeah, we probably mesh, and you go meet them, you're like, holy shit, what the fuck?
Right. So that I feel like we keep going back and forth. I don't know what are the two sides? Are people similar or very different?
And there's also, dude, there's this thing that happens too, which is going to make me sound a little sexist. And hear me out. It does go the other way, but I feel like when I have dated people, the person I'm dating absorbs my personality, and absorb is maybe the wrong word. They just kind of like
rub off.
Yeah, but like to a degree where like sometimes like I'm like, wait, are you just like yes and like you're my yes person?
Yeah.
And it makes me feel kind of like this is cheap now, and like
it's like, no, I'm just dating myself.
Yeah, which initially it's always, I love it so much because I'm like, oh, I found someone just like me. Yeah. And then you realize through like time that this person's just mirroring
this
you.
This is why you're a cat person, not a dog person.
I love dogs. I love cats.
Dogs are yes man. Dogs say yes, they always love you no matter what.
True. Yeah.
No, but I feel you though.
Yeah, it's just, there's so many things I wish it wasn't that way, but then I wouldn't have it the other way. I wouldn't want to go into a like, there's a time in my life where I wanted to be liked by everyone, and I think I was pretty good. Like, a lot of my friendships and a lot of the people I know was established through, like, me being that guy. Like, listen, and don't get me wrong, there's massive benefit to being liked by most people because it's networking to some degree. Yeah. But you learn that, like, you're living most of your life pretending to, like, not be yourself. And there is, I mean, we don't want to go back to the religious stuff. I truly believe there is a unique soul or essence in everyone, and the farther you get away from whatever that thing is, the worse life you're going to live. And it's proven that way in my life over and over again.
Sure, yeah.
It's like you just like degrade whatever this thing was that was given to you.
I guess maybe I've known you after that period of your life. I find it hard to think of you like putting up a front, or like how would you act do you have an example or anything like that's different than who you truly are?
Like we've hung out when I'm like fucking drunk and I'm just super out. I'm way more outgoing. Yeah. We're like, that used to be like the standard, And naturally, I'm more reserved.
Yeah.
Like, I'll go out and kind of talk to people. And if I know people, I might get out going, which is, standard for people, I guess. But my default used to be like I've told you all these fucking, the old day stories with Dylan. And we it would just be like, we would talk to anyone and everyone. And it's like, we're the guys making the room be okay at every expense.
Yeah.
And it sounds extreme, but it's just like this mode that's just so not what I am at all.
Okay.
And mostly coming from a place of just like, I want people to like me. And there's still that part of me, obviously. But
that's a tough demon to
it's hard, man.
Out.
Because there's so much stuff that's like,
that's why I'm doing comedy right now. That's why I've been doing improv for
well, everyone has it to some degree. I think mine was just, I was so used to being like the nerdy. I wanted to be like so bad for so long because I was taught early in life that no one really wants what I'm selling. Which now the table's flipped. Now everyone loves nerdy video game. Like, everyone loves the shit I loved as a kid.
Okay.
But I was always like, no, it was just never that. People didn't want that shit. So it's like, oh, I got to pretend to like the other thing in order for everyone to be like, oh, this kid fucking rules now. That's where all the selling drugs and all the criminal stuff came from. Because people thought that was like
when you say nerdy, you're talking just video games or what?
Video games, not sports, none of that.
Okay,
like, literally, like the opposite of what every boy kind of was doing from the ages of like.
Yeah, now you're into sports.
Now I make money off sports. But it's like, I don't know. It's just so, life is just strange. Not to sound cliche. It's just like trying to understand, learning that lesson over and over. The farther you get away from who you are, the worse everything gets.
It sounds like you're finding yourself.
Yeah, thanks, shaman.
I'm just trying to guide you, bro.
I appreciate it. I mean, I guess I've also never known a version of you that's been different, but that's probably why we connect, though, as well. Because I'm like, oh, yeah, I feel like I know you.
I didn't have a crazy, like, party drug backstory like you, though. Which I wish I did, because it sounds badass.
It's cool for a bit, but then it's the giant, typical, like, when they show you, like, a rockumentary, and they're like, these rock stars who are like, yeah, we just fucking hooked up with
There's always
babe.
a crash.
But it's like later when they're like, yeah, it was great, but I was like, I tried to kill myself 17 times. It's always like there's the guys who are doing that stuff underneath are like always going through
so much pain.
Yeah, because at a certain point, and there's degrees of this, because I do believe that like you can do drugs and also not be going through horrible shit. But the more intense that relationship is with something that changes your reality, you are running from something.
Yeah.
So if you're doing it every day, all the time, to a degree that most people would be put in a hospital for, you're really running from something.
Yeah, right.
So to the point of my earlier life, it was very fun, but the highs and lows were equivalent of like extreme intense good and extreme intense bad.
Sure.
Which it's not good. Your brain in that environment becomes like, you're so stressed out.
You just want to keep a nice level.
Yeah, just a little bit of
Subtle
cocaine,
hills,
a little bit of ketamine. You just even out.
Just a bump, not a line.
Just a bump.
Just a bump.
But on that note, anything else before we call it?
If we arrived?
Let's see. Dude, 7 minutes. What do you need to tell the people in these next 7 minutes?
What's 7 minutes till what?
2 hours.
Oh, sick.
I'm just going to make this into 2 episodes at this point.
Okay, cool.
I'll just put some like intro. I could literally make like AI. I can make an AI soundboard of us, so I can just like input like, we're starting fake problems and just have that in the beginning.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. But what do you want to tell the public? In these times, in your life, what have you learned? What do you want to...
Get vaccinated.
Even in... You know what? At this point, get all the vaccines.
I'm behind.
What is the... Are they still doing COVID? Actually, they totally are.
I think they do, yeah.
Yeah, because I've seen COVID things advertised for getting a booster. Oh, God. Yeah, that... Dude, that stuff's so... I don't even know. The fact that there was a thing around those vaccines called Operation Lightspeed is just like...
Well, was that to get it approved?
Yeah, to put it through like the most expedited trials for anything that's ever existed on the planet Earth. And that people are like, yeah, we should probably put that in ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah, we had to solve COVID fast.
We solved it. We solved the lab created thing that we did through gain of function research, but you know, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
It's fine.
It's kind of cool that they're like trying to make bioweapons.
Does that bring you comfort?
It makes me believe in that there is kind of this comic book world that people always be like, oh, it's just Marvel.
Oh, yeah.
There's some mad scientist in a lab somewhere being like, ooh, let's see what this can do.
We'll be the boys soon, where everyone just becomes superheroes.
What is it called? V? There's a word for the stuff they take in it.
Compound V.
Compound V. Which there's a new... Dude, oh my God. There's a new season of that show, and that super hot girl, Erin Moriarty, who plays Star or whatever.
Yeah.
She got like a fuck ton of plastic surgery.
Oh yeah, that happened like season 3.
I know.
Did she get more?
She like her mouth doesn't move now. Dude, she was so hot.
She was so hot. I feel like we talked about this years ago.
Why?
Oh, lip filler, dude. I don't think she even got lip filler, but
no, she's got like there's stuff going on with the whole
her
thing.
jawline, her cheeks. It sucks.
I mean, it is such a good like. People can get body dysmorphia and truly not know what they look like. They probably think they look great.
Yeah, that's the sad part.
Yeah, that girl probably thinks like she looked really bad before when she was super hot, and thinks that now she looks way better.
Yeah.
God damn, another one ruined.
It's tragedy.
God, I remember watching the scenes like, gosh, she's so fucking hot.
I know.
Nice.
I know.
It's nice to just see it.
We can't have nice things.
Man or woman, a hot person, you're like, that's fucking good, man.
Right.
This human thing can do that. It can just have that come out. That's fucking cool. It's beautiful.
Yeah, we advocate for like putting normal looking people on screen. It's like,
fuck that.
No.
Be proud of the people who are beautiful.
Show me the hotties.
Yes, dude. Stop this whole thing of look. If we're talking entertainment and there's people who can act great, then it's like skill over that. But if we want to have like models and all, the hottest people, they belong in that world. People want to look at hot people.
Right.
Just do it.
Also, here's a
oh please
maybe a peeve.
Yeah,
I'll call it a peeve. You ever have someone, and I can't think of an actress that fits this, but you ever hear someone like comment on an actress and be like, yeah, she's just all right.
All the time.
And it's like, dude, she's in movies. She is inconceivably hot.
Yeah.
Also, show me who you're dating if you're calling her average.
I'll concede. I, at one point, was definitely that person.
Yeah?
So I just watched so many movies. Here's what happens. Let me explain to you the psychosis that happens when you just end up watching. Call me a cinephile.
Sure.
Minor film-attracted person, actually.
Ooh.
There we go.
Start dressing up like hot people. To make you... keep going.
Hell yeah. Improv's working.
2 years.
2 years. But in the trenches.
Did you hear that?
Yeah. But if you're watching movies all the time and you're exposed to so many hot people, like with anything...
Yeah, it normalizes.
And you start to see how, like, when there's people who are just not as hot as the hottest, you're like, yeah, what the fuck's she about?
Yeah.
But then if you live outside that world, the average movie star is probably a hot person.
If you saw that person in person, you would be gawking. Dude, it's insane.
I remember, like, because of being in the bodybuilding world for a while, seeing Chris Hemsworth at his peak and be like, yeah, it's whatever. And he's like a walking god of a person.
Literally a god of a man.
They chose him to be Thor, and I'm like, I've seen better, dude.
He's all right.
That's an average physique. I've seen way better in the bodybuilding world.
Yeah.
But it's just, like you said, you get so used to, like, the super hot, and then you're just like, well, who's hotter than this super hot person? Oh, this person. And there's always another hot person. That's the crazy thing.
Another hot person.
Like, how much hotter can we get? We just keep getting...
Us personally?
I think we're
not much, bro.
Dude, it would be funny if we just took a year and gotten like the most insane shape.
Let's
like,
get insanely hot.
We could easily.
We get lip fillers. All kinds of fillers.
Do the one thing that we're like, we
Yeah,
should do
man.
that. We do nothing else. We just get lip
Just
fillers.
fillers.
I'm thinking to get a fucking Brazilian butt lift. Just get a huge ass.
I like to be caked up.
Be pretty nice.
Be sweet.
How did? Well, I guess we're probably at time here, but I always wonder when people get that. How does that feel like? You just got two like giant silicone.
Just got some fucking cannons in your
but you
butt.
just, like you sit down on that.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, where is the filler? Is it over the muscle or under the muscle?
I think over. I think under would be like a really intense, because then you'd be like
it'd be
touching
crazy.
bone.
Or maybe like interspersed within the muscle. Because either way, yeah, if it's over the muscle and you sit on it, can you just not feel that anymore?
No, you'd probably feel it. It just feels so, because it's just giant silicone filled with like saline water. I think, or maybe it's. So I've seen videos
what do
where
they put in those things?
I thought it was just like maybe it's some gel, because I've seen them like open a breast implant before, and it's like
what's inside?
It's like liquidy goo stuff. But also, dude, just think about putting something in you like that.
Yeah,
You just have like a giant artificial like plastic thing just like in
just
you.
a balloon.
Have you ever seen when they take one like breast implants out after years, where like your body naturally like calcifies around it, so they become like rocks?
I haven't seen that.
Your body's like, get this the fuck out. What is this thing? You fucking psycho. Okay. Let's see.
They glow in the dark too.
Yeah. One
Titty implants. You ever seen people put a flashlight under a fake tit?
No.
It like illuminates.
God tits.
Yeah.
All right. On that note.
All right.
Till next time.